Lumaflex is considered the world's #1 portable red light therapy device.
I can see that it has hit the sweet spot between size, too big, too small. It's a Goldilocks size.
This is waterproof. I'll do light therapy as I'm having my shower or I'm in the jacuzzi. I've had people even use this as they play golf. We're almost like a cell phone, it's always on your body. Red light therapy penetrates the skin, is activating your mitochondria. Your mitochondria having energy, it allows your cells to be able to heal you. Is it like pseudoscience? Is it made in a laboratory? How can I trust it? All these, understandable questions.
Red light, as such, is helping the mitochondria. That's a given. That we know, there's science on it, supporting it. Well, hello, this is Martin Pytela for Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast. And today I am with John Graham Harper. And John is an awesome fellow. You wouldn't believe the stories he's going to tell. And these are the stories of a young warrior who has caused himself all kinds of injuries. And so early in his life, he found out just how beat up a human body can get and how to best heal it. And I think this is relevant to all of us. Doesn't matter what age and doesn't matter what cause. Healing is a function that our bodies can get help with. John, welcome to the Life Enthusiast Show.
Thank you so much. That's a great name for a show. Enthusiast. I like this word. I don't hear this enough. Thank you so much.
Right. Tell me, what do you call these gadgets that you have put together?
So I sort of specialize mostly in medical manufacturing and red light therapy in particular. And the device that I built is called Lumaflex. Luma meaning light and flex as in flexibility, right? So Lumaflex is considered the world's #1 portable red light therapy device. So you can see here with the light on. And why I say the world's #1 is because we've won 8 design and innovation awards. And every time you win an award, there's a process to where you're asking, can I have this award? This is why I deserve it. And the story that we tell is all down to why the design, why the material is being used, and our education. What are we trying to achieve with our education, and what our vision is, right, to change the world with light therapy. The design, the actual shape of the Lumaflex, this pad, for example, the reason why it's exactly this size is to address, the #1 pain that is that's in the world, which is the lower back pain. So more people have this pain, going for a prescription or even get surgery when they don't quite need to, because it's such a prominent pain. But we don't want to go too big because we'll lose portability. But we really need to have enough surface area to address that #1 pain. So just as an example, the size of it is it took many months to be set on this exact size.
I was going to say, John, we have sold similar gadgets before. But it's just looking at it, I can see that it has hit the sweet spot between size, too big, too small. It's a Goldilocks size. I can just see it. And also the flexibility versus not, and the density of the lights versus not. Like a ton of thought has gone into this design, because I can just see that you have enough lights to make a difference, but not so much to make it expensive, and you have the flexibility to allow it to go many places and so on. So I'm really excited about the design specifically, because
thank you so much. It took over 2 years to do the development stage of it. It was a long, strenuous process, and there's sort of a protocol, there's an approach that we have with light therapy, and the way we want to address treatment and using light therapy as a treatment tool for pain conditions is we want to basically guarantee your bang for buck. Like you pay for a device, there is light that is available, this healing light. We want to make sure you get as much of this light as possible into your body. So we require that it touches skin. So this isn't a device that you have away from you. And not to say that devices that you have at a distance are bad. It's just that when you have a manual and you give this manual as with your product, there's the power output is there. Everything is measured, right? That we do with instruments. We guarantee a certain amount of power output into your body. Now, based on the distance, like if you go an inch away from the device, you know, and 6 inches, 12, the power output drops very significantly. So, and also
is it dropping with the square or is it with the cube of the distance?
Yeah, it's dropping. It's dropping because light it reflects. So it is something that, yes, light works in a straight line, but the benefits that you get from here versus here are wildly different. But it doesn't necessarily mean this way for other things or for other areas of our life. But it's just with light, it's a tricky thing.
Okay, I'll throw in the word. Yeah, it's dropping off not with the linear dependency, but it's a geometric dependency. It's just way dramatic.
Yeah. And it's something like I remember when I was talking with my science team, one scientist in particular, he said it's like throwing spaghetti on the wall. It's not to say it isn't benefiting you, but it's a hit and miss based on person to person distance and, clothing, and sort of the direction that your body is facing and all of this. So I just said, well, how do we guarantee that in our product line, we can give the treatment that people paid for? And they said, well, it has to touch skin. And then we kind of worked back from there, use liquid silicone, have the device moldable to joints and muscles. And it was this whole back and forth process, in development where we're trying to achieve this, like, we have to go back to the drawing board, multiple times. And we're like, okay, throw that out. Let's go back.
And so, I see that you made it actually washable. So this is easily shareable from person to person, person to animal, anything goes, right?
That's right. Yeah. So we're touching skin. There's going to be as you're having cellular energy, there's going to be a heat. Your body's going to get hot. So it needs to be sweat proof. But then if it's textile, cleaning it over time, that's going to be an issue. So let's go even further. Let's make it waterproof. And let's go environment, temperature, and pressure tested. So then we can now encourage people to use it anywhere, anytime on the go. And then we started working with, a fundamental thing with light is the more you use it, the more you benefit from it. Like if I'm using light therapy every day and I have an injury, I'll heal faster because I'm using light therapy every day. So we say, okay, so we're trying to create consistency of use. So the product needs to adapt to different people's lives and allow them to multitask. So that was a key thing in the development phase was tailoring the product, making sure that it was able to fit into multiple different, different people's routines, their daily routines. So environment, temperature, and pressure tested was a key thing. It's like, I'm having a shower. This is waterproof. I'll do light therapy as I'm having my shower, or I'm in the jacuzzi. Right.
Now, this is a really cool thing that is not readily obvious, but one of the biggest problems of modern days is time, right? So if I can multitask it with some other activity, it gets done. Because if I were required to sit in front of a screen, I get to do nothing other than stand naked in front of my light panel.
Yes.
But this one, I actually get to apply it to the area of concern, and I can go about my daily business. I can go shopping with this on.
Yes, you can take your kids to soccer practice and have it, on your back, use it and move it in different areas. Even while, you're driving at a stoplight, you can adjust the device and put it in a different area. I've had people even use this as they play golf. Like they hit the ball, they apply and they walk to the, I've seen so many great cases for it.
All right. So this is the how. Let's actually tell why. Why does one use it? Like, what is the reason why I would want to have this in my possession?
Well, I'm trying to communicate light therapy. It's natural, it's non-invasive as a pain management solution, but we do have people that use it for skin, we are FDA cleared for skin rejuvenation.
Right.
There's a lot of like beauty
Okay.
clients that actually use it for their face, but then they'll
All
also be for their knees.
So hold on. So should we explain at this point what it actually does in the body before we get into why you want to use it? Like, okay, my thinking of the why is either pain or well, let me explain this way. From the physiological issue, inflammation is the issue here. Inflammation comes with 5 symptoms, which is redness, heat, swelling, pain, and loss of function, all of which will express itself into the body. The pain is usually the worst of it, because when we hurt, we really know about it. The loss of function is gradual, but it does happen. And so in skin, the loss of function is sagging, sinking, loss of elasticity, all of that.
Blemishes, all of that.
But with my ankle, the loss of function is can't move it, it hurts to move it, and so on. Right? With my torn something in my shoulder, it's going to be just every time I move my hand this way, I get reminded that there's something wrong with it.
Yes, exactly.
That sort of thing, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's something that I would love anybody who is listening. If you send me an email at john@lumaflex.com, or you contact me on Instagram. Let's do Instagram. John Graham Fitness. Just say I listened to Martin, or I watched Martin's show. I would love to get access to the education. Here's my email. So we built a Lumaflex Academy, where I have a scientist, Peter Forehand. He's a light scientist. And I asked him, I said, many people have the same question. What is light? Is it like pseudoscience? Is it made in a laboratory? How can I trust it? All these, understandable questions, that it's something that's still catching on, right? The information's slow to get out to the world, but it is catching on. So I asked Peter, I said, with your background, could you please package the information about light therapy, about the cellular mechanisms, can you make it easy to digest so that those people who do the course can go tell their friends and family, that it can be passed down. And we created the Foundations course. So again, anybody listening, you want access to the Foundations course, we sell it online, but of course, I'm very keen to give it away because it's a way in which we're growing the awareness. It's very important for us. So yeah, anybody wants to check out the course, it's only an 1.5 hour long video, and it's Peter's giving the seminar in a gym in Miami. It's like a specialty gym for athletes to come and get treatment, and there's about like 20 coaches there or something. And it's a great video. It's wonderful because you go from 0 to hero in light therapy. But
well, you know what? Let me just butt in with this. Many of our viewers have probably watched Joe Rogan talk about his $120,000 light bed that he has in his house. Well, Joe can afford one. Well, so red light as such is helping the mitochondria. That's a given. That we know there's science on it supporting it. When you push the red light in, the food to energy conversion happens at a better rate, which means that the cell is healing. That means better energy available. When we have energy, we can rebuild, we can heal, we can restore. So instead of having this $120,000 tanning bed, you're delivering this targeted thing for a few $100s. So just about any household can manage owning one of these. Unlike the $120,000, well, that's the extreme, right? Because now you're like a little burrito being roasted from all sides in that light.
Yes, I like that. Yes. Yeah, I mean, if you can afford it, that's great. But it's so true. Not everyone can afford that. And even when you have that bed, it stays at your home. You can't take it with you anywhere on your holiday or on your weekend away, or you're kind of like, oh, I got to go back home to have my treatment. And it's just like you said before about people's time, human nature. It's something like, it's not that, I mean, okay, if I had a red light therapy bed, if I did, because I'm very regimented. As an athlete, a former athlete, I'm very regimented. It's 6 o'clock, I wake up. I myself am like that. But if you have to do something out of your routine, you may do it for the first 2 weeks, take a, couple days off, then you get back on it. But the same time next year, probably not. That bed or that device it's probably going to just be collecting dust. And it's it's true. I think there's a bigger opportunity for people to see the amazing benefits of red light therapy if it's a portable device.
I want to illustrate your point. Okay.
Okay.
I have a box here. Take a look.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And in the box, I have a gadget. Take a look. There it is. It's a heat source with infrared heat coming in. Wow. It delivers similar stuff. This is a $400 gadget that I have not taken out of this box in months. You know why?
I don't know.
I have to stand there with this noisy thing blowing on me and wand myself with the warm air. Yeah. It works. It's an awesome, practical solution that I don't use because it's such a pain in the ass to use.
That's right. It's such a key thing. We see it everywhere else in product development, whether it be like, electric cars or, apps and cell phones, like we see this understanding of the user and their routine, their daily habits, and tailoring technology to that. We see it everywhere else, but in light therapy, I just didn't see it. I thought that was where the opening was. So in the product development and even looking at the products later this year, that's something I'm very well known with my design team to just say, I just scrap it and just say no. Like my whole goal is this product what you'll be using this same time next year? That's the question I ask myself the most. And I got this from when I was in fitness, and I'd be training people because as a competitive athlete, I was training people as well to kind of like my athlete career. And I remember, you talk about dieting, you got to eat healthy every day, you got to work out every day. And I was always trying to hack that consistency. I was trying to hack the formula where everyone was like, well, this is so easy. I can do this every day. Everyone's trying to do that, right? It's like, I don't care what works in the laboratory. I don't care what works under all the perfect conditions. What's going to work for you? And that kind of thinking I brought, to Lumaflex, which was,
okay. So this is how it works. So the science of the light is not debatable anymore. We actually have lots and lots of stories. It's just, how do you get this proper wavelength? It has to be the right wavelength, right? This is what is it? 660 to 880 or something like that nanometer in wavelength.
Yeah. So we have in this device, we have 630 and 850. Now and I have the device in these devices because the next devices will have different nanometers. And how I choose the nanometers is, number one, it's sort of a discussion I have with the science team, especially Peter Forehand. I want to hear what his opinion is. And his opinion, it's not necessarily because he's a scientist as well, but I also have to, again, think about the user, and I have to sort of balance both, right? But also we have access to the global clinical research database for all red light therapy all red light therapy studies, all the studies that have ever been done. And I believe at the moment now, and that's something I'll email you later because it's something that I would love people to have access to. It's something we talk about in the course. But in that database, I'll look up like, a nanometer, like one particular nanometer that I really like is 904 because of the overwhelming research behind it, right? Another one I really like is the 660 nanometer. And that's
familiar with that
research. And then another one that I'm looking into now for our next product is the 1064, the 1064 nanometer. And that's, looking at these certain nanometers, how much clinical research is behind them, and what sort of products can be made incorporating different ones, and also to create a bit of variance. Like, I'm buying that device, this one has the same, why this
All
one
right.
can serve this purpose, this one can serve this purpose. So different price ranges, different use cases, and different outcomes. But
All right.
the clinical research database, that's something I would love to
All right.
get access to.
Okay, so the one we have here now is specific to the healing of the injured or overused or unhappy tissue giving pain, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's with 630, I mean, and 850 there, what is red light therapy? Red light therapy penetrates the skin, is activating your mitochondria. Your mitochondria having energy, it allows your cells to be able to heal you. So we require touching skin. So people have said, oh, this device versus a stronger device, this device can't promise those same outcomes. But I said, if it touches skin, we can promise those same outcomes. Now, the other device, it is strong, but again, what we lose in that device is it's not portable. It has to be fixed to a location, like a bed or something like that. I'm trying to create a portable device where, 78-year-old, grandma Jessica who wants to be competitive on the golf course, she has it in her bag, or there's like James who's taking his kids to soccer practice, and he has to swing by work afterwards. He just has it in his bag. So where does it fit in people's lives and how can they apply it? And that's
Right.
kind of where I would specialize in, because I understand the user a bit, quite well. And something interesting about Lumaflex, we have these straps that go with, the short strap, the long strap that go with the device. But as we saw people use the product and we're getting this feedback, we started to notice that people actually used their clothing, to hold the device,
Right
so
on.
this, my heart, and then I would move it here to put it on my, my spine. That's a key area for when you're working on
Right.
the computer. And then a lot of people, what they do is they just drop it down to get your gut, to service your gut health. And then they
Yes.
shift around to get their lower back. And
Right.
I saw people using it in this very creative way without the straps. And it was something that like, oh, I left the straps at home. I just used my clothing. And it was inspiring that people were, again, fully incorporating it into their lives rather than saying, oh, it's red light therapy time. Let me get the straps. And, that was exciting for me because I was like, wow,
Yeah.
we're almost like a cell phone, it's always on your body kind of thing. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for is pain management solutions. And obviously, like I was saying before, there's skin rejuvenation benefits. This is also those nanometers also support hair growth. So people are like, oh, do I want to buy a $5,000 helmet, or should I, do the protocol for hair growth that my, that my doctor's telling me? Can I just use that? And then I can also use it for my pets, right? Like we have lots of people with pets that use this for their pets, right? Because it's durable. It's something you can clean and you can use it, so it's shareable. And then for horses, for hack stacking, incorporated into different environments. The essential, even though it isn't waterproof, it's water resistant. I use this in the sauna, and I do a 40-minute sauna every day. I'm trying to get my sauna time in.
Yeah. Okay, so let's explain the two products now that you've shown them both. There's a basic difference. The price is nearly double.
Yep.
The baseline, well,
Yes.
I don't know. We want to make this message evergreen. So if you ever raise a price, it may change, but it's a few $100s for the entry, and it's double that for the other one. So let's just explain.
Yeah. So the Body Pro, it's designed for professional use. So like a massage therapist has this as a tool in their toolkit. They may have like acupuncture, cupping, massage gun. They may have all their tools in their toolkit to provide a treatment if they're a therapist, a doctor, or nurse, or whatever. So that kind of is where the Body Pro fits. It's more that professional use case. Where I've seen this used is where in a wellness center, they rent the use of it to go into all the other, modalities in a circuit. Like I'm here to do some salt therapy. Then after that, I'm gonna, jump on a cryo. I'm gonna do an IV. So then they'll take this device and they'll stack light therapy with those other devices. Right. And the essential. Well,
hold on. So let's just the main feature then would be the swappable power supply.
Yeah.
Right?
So Yeah, the main feature would be it's IP67, so it's environment and temperature tested. Like the goal of this is to go into the military, and you do get a spare battery. You get 2 batteries.
So you can have one charging while the other one's in use.
Yeah, for limitless treatment, right? Like I've got a client come in, but it's okay. I just swap the batteries, and I can keep. Right. We'll never run.
One thing that does come up is the timing, right? Like there's the right amount of time, because doing it too much is actually counterproductive.
That's such a good question. That was something that, again, when we were in the development phase of building Lumaflex, talking to the science team, what we wanted was we actually have a 10-minute timer on this. So we're delivering, we work from 10-minute treatment time. So during the course, when we're going into protocols, we recommend, X number of sessions, that session being 10 minutes. And that's something that if, a doctor who's well-versed in light therapy, that's something that they can work from as well. They can say, this has a 10-minute timer, touching skin based on this condition, based on all the, your blood work or whatever tests that we've done. We want you to do X number of sessions. So it's, everything, it all has 10-minute timers on it, but must touch skin. That's the
right.
Key thing.
Okay. So that's the rechargeable, portable, swappable. Yeah. Water resistant. You can go swimming with it.
Yeah, yeah. If you ever end up like getting water on it, like I've taken this into the snow, into like the mud, the sand. I've taken it swimming. I've sit in the jacuzzi with it. Yeah, that's the idea. And it's also app connected too. So you can actually do it app remoted. So it's on the app. I can stop it from the app. So it does have Bluetooth. And what I want to do with the app is build out more protocols, a schedule, things like that. That's a future app developments will be coming. But looking at the essential, only 1 battery, right? So there's no 2 batteries. It isn't connected to Bluetooth. It doesn't have a Bluetooth functionality, and it isn't submergible. So it's still water resistant, but it's not submergible. And to be honest, this was always intended to be the one that people buy more. It's like, I own a practice, I'll buy one as a tool, and this I'll sell in my retail. That's kind of how it works. So if someone were to say, what's the product that's changing the world? It's actually the essential.
Right. How long does it take to charge? Yeah. How long does it take to charge up?
It takes an average of 2 hours to charge. But as the same with your iPhone, it's still lithium batteries. It's just battery technology. So as the same, like treat the battery as well as you treat your iPhone. So everyone knows with batteries, if the battery isn't fully charged, if it's like half, it's not wise to charge it at that time. It's better to let the battery drain and then charge it. That's commonly known to keep the longevity of the battery. So what I always tell people is, when you charge your iPhone at night, charge your Lumaflex, and then let them both sort of run out throughout the day and charge again.
Or wait until it dies and then charge it. Yeah.
And there's about 12. I think it's 12 sessions of 10 minutes is what you get with the battery life. 12 to 15 is right now. But again, based on the health of the battery over X number of uses, over months or years.
Okay, so I could do 10 minutes on my belly, 10 minutes on my neck, 10 minutes on my shoulder. That's 3. I still can hand it to my wife. She can do her 3, and we still have a whole day more before I have to charge it.
Yeah. And it's something like, I know that there's a scientist that I know quite well who's very good at light therapy for the brain. And she has told me that 10 minutes is all you need for the brain. For the gut, you can do 2 sessions a day for gut health. And then for usually throughout the day, like all that to say, I do get like my 13 sessions done. Like I'll put it definitely on my chest, at least twice a day, my gut twice, my neck twice, and usually, when you're just feeling drained, or you've had a meal and it's hard to digest. That's usually when I because those are ways in which you can get light therapy into your life. For those things that people don't really know that. Like my wife also, during that time of the month, she also uses it for those pains, for those cramps. You know, I use it when I don't feel like I use it to wake myself up in the morning. You know, I put it on my neck. You know, if I feel like drained, or if I'm seeing blue light a lot, like I'm watching a movie afterwards, like I'll use it to kind of reset a bit. I also use it as a lamp, you know, at night. At nighttime, I want to tell my brain, you know, don't wake up. So you turn off the phone, and then you just turn on the, you know, the light, and use this as your light for the day, right? For the evening, right? But yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You have hit on it a few times, but I would really love to hear your story. How did you actually get here?
So I started out as I was into fitness. I was that skinny guy, you know, that really skinny guy that was last to be picked for the team, you know, not so confident, you know, ginger hair, freckles, like I was not much going for me. So I found my confidence, my my warrior in the gym. And I would, you know, as I was training and putting on muscle, I was like, you know, protecting my little teddy bear inside me, right? And I took, you know, I got very serious into fitness, and especially in competitive sports. I played rugby, and after an injury to both my shoulders and my left knee, rugby was clearly not something I could do anymore. But I tried CrossFit. I did very well in CrossFit. Like I was almost competing at regional level, and then lost interest in that. And then I found boxing, and I went into amateur boxing for many years. Yeah, and amateur boxing is, to this day, is still my big passion. It's like something like I'll watch boxing any day of the week.
All right.
Like
So,
all the famous fighters. Yeah, I love it.
I'm not a boxer at all, but when I think about it, I see it more an endurance sport than anything else, right? Is it?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Like the thing with boxing is what a coach will always tell you, and what you always sort of remember as in your career, is don't fight, box. There's a very clear distinction. Like UFC, MMA, they're fighting. We're boxing. It's the art of boxing. It's the craft of the arts of throwing a hit but not getting hit. It's all cardio. It's just that's why skipping and running are like pretty much like for in every boxing program. Lots and lots of running. But it was really fun for me, and it was something I enjoyed, obviously competing in amateurs. But after 4 years, I started to get very severe headaches. And it was like you were telling me before, you know, like before we got on the podcast, how you just say, oh, harden up, you'll be fine. You know, you as a man, you feel like it's part of the package of being an athlete. I need to relish this endurance.
You endure and overcome, and it's nothing. Just wave it off. But it's not nothing. It's not nothing. It will hurt you.
Yes, it's gonna. You're gonna be. If it's part of your armor, that's right. It's part of your identity as an athlete, as a boxer. I accept the pain, and I because nobody else can. It's a total ego trip. but I remember my wife taking me to hospital, and we did a full scan, and they told me that I developed a tumor in my head. Because of micro traumas to the brain. So it was a tumor that was growing. It wasn't a cancerous tumor, but they said it is growing into your brain. And what we need you to do is schedule a surgery within 11 months, or else it may be difficult for us to do this micro surgery, because they want to go into my ear and attack the tumor that way, and if it grew too much, could be a little bit, it'd be like a big opening or whatever. I don't know. But it was a bit scary. Like, obviously I was like, whoa, that's not cool. 11 months and it's going to grow into my brain. Like, it's sort of something where you really stop, rethink. And obviously, my wife is very much like, we should not be doing any more impact sports. Like, this has to stop. So, right. But after that surgery was gone, there was a period of time to rehab, but not only, during the time when I was sort of getting myself back together after that surgery, but also from rugby and all of that, my wife was pushing me to use red light therapy, and the device that she had me use, it was, I mean, I'll have to find a photo of it because it's now, I think her grandfather is using it now, but it was like a very tall lamp. It was tall, and it had like this bendable arm, like it bent in like 3 different places. It was a very heavy lamp. It was heavy. It had like a large weighted base, like an umbrella, one of those beach umbrellas. And
I'm just reaching for something here in my office. I have this amateur version of that. Look at this monster.
Yes,
Right.
It was like a really big version of that, exactly like, except much bigger.
Right.
Like so much.
So this is modern day. This is LED, right? This is
Wow.
This what I just showed. That's a grow light. This is something you would do in a hydroponic home growing situation, but it does deliver lots of the correct wavelength lights.
Yeah, and it is effective. It is effective. Like that lamp that my wife pushed me to use every night, 20 minutes before bed. I remember she would really push me to do it. And I remember where I really kind of got sold was with my left knee. That this injury was the one for years. It would hurt, like, and hurt just by sitting down. It would hurt. Like I would have this, I would have like this heat rub that I would take with me, and I would massage my knee to create the lubrication in the knee, just because it would hurt so much. Yeah. But I remember after a week, she would point I would lay there like I was and she would point it at my at my knee, and after a week, I didn't have the pain, and after the second week, I didn't need it for the knee anymore. That was the most sort of dramatic.
That's the reveal, right? That was the convincer for you, was it not?
Yeah. And it was, right. And even to this day, I have never, even with Lumaflex, I've never put it on that area ever. Like I've never had, after like when I've trained my legs, or we've gone hiking together, I've done like the post training on my legs, but I've never had that knee issue ever again. It's even like now, it still amazes me. Like,
well, I guess once healed, it's repaired. Yeah. That's that.
That's right. Yeah. Amazing, right? Like,
that's awesome.
Life changing.
Right.
But that's when I dove. Like what I call is you jump on the light train. Like I jumped on that light train, and I've like been on the train. And
I would love to see sort of more applications. You possibly have some pictures that we can share with the folks of how it's been used, right? Could you illustrate just some of the uses, just so people get the idea of just how flexible this thing is?
Yes, I mean, it's something obviously like, designed for the lower back, but you see the flexibility, and now allows it to be contorted to, your joints, your elbows, right? Your shoulders. I had a guy in New York. We were at a conference. I remember me and Peter, we were at a conference in New York. And this guy came over, and he said, I have a shoulder issue from rugby, and it's like a dead shoulder where I can't sleep on it. It hurts, but I can't raise my arm. And this video, I have the video I could send, but we put it on the front for 10 minutes, then we put it on the back for 10 minutes. And he like came back, and he was like moving his arms. He's like, and he ran off to call his wife, and he called his wife, and he's like, there's these guys, they're into light therapy at this conference. I don't know what's going on. And he came back, and he shared, this story. And it was something that like, it was really amazing that you had such a quick response. Like his body was able to heal. The cells were able to heal. It's just, they needed that, excess energy, right? He was just deficient in the energy. But shoulder, that's a big one. The neck, the heart, what I always tell people, like for me, heart, gut, head, and the back of the neck, those are my sort of overall well-being places that I do.
Did you ever get any pictures of people getting their hair back on their head?
I've never had anybody say, but it's funny because recently a guy named Quan James, he's a nurse, and he specifically is saying, I'm going to use this in my hair treatments. Like I'm going to use this in my hair treatments. And
so
he's very... Yeah, so his clients will give him those
right.
those images. Yeah, I'll have to ask him for him. But yeah, that's something as well. Hair treatment, hair growth, skin rejuvenation.
Yeah.
Something that's really exciting is gut health. That's something that I watch the space about gut health, brain health, also eye health with red light therapy. They're very, very exciting, to see the new research out about that. In our manual, we tell people not to look at the LEDs, to keep your eyes closed.
Yeah.
And I encourage people, please do research on, like, it's something that Joe Rogan talked about, like how he no longer needs glasses because that's something he's talked about a lot. And I think there is a study out there that encourages 3 minutes a day looking at the LEDs. But that's, again, something, that people should research on their own. But for us, we always say, keep your eyes closed, because it's, we don't want to incur any issues. But yeah, back of the knee is a very key area for runners, and palms and feet for runners are always areas that I see people use it a lot. Just because they have the carpals or something, they've got issues with them, with flexibility, with mobility in their feet. Yeah. Where we are being encouraged, to be used in the military, where the military is testing it, is for shin splints.
Of course. Yeah.
So that's because of the running. But it's designed as an all-in-one device, to mold to any joint, muscle, or area on your.
Okay.
And that's the idea.
All right. So you mentioned people use it with their pets or animals, or I guess this would work awesomely well on a racehorse, right?
Yes. Yeah. Like, that's another area, particularly in Australia, with our distributor over there, who also now wants to do, he has a lot of clients in the US where he's like, I want to own the horse market in the US. It's like, okay, go for it.
It's hard to own anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend that you allow anyone to own anything. Just go and tell others. All right. Yeah. So I guess you can have a dog sleeping on it, or would you just strap it to a dog? How would you apply it?
I've seen people have shown me videos of their cat or their dog, actually, when they turn it on, they go and they lay on it. They gravitate towards using it.
They know better. Okay.
But I've got lots of people that have purchased it for their dog that has had a condition, and they have there is a strap where, like, if it's on their belly or like something, their organ or something, they can strap it around. And usually when the dog is laying down, like if they have a condition, that's they'll
be restful. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. Well, so we say what situations, we say how it works. The why, well, I guess the why is obvious, right? The why is pain reduction, thereof, restoration from injuries, returning back to normal function.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we have a lot of support from, the medical, from medical person, from scientists, I would say, mostly from scientists, like Andrew Huberman. He's very good, talks a lot about red light. There's a few other guys like Brecka. He's another one that endorses it a lot. And these personalities, they all sometimes, you get lost in all the information they say, but all of them are saying red light, thumbs up, let's go. Right. Yeah. And it's good that it's like, okay, that's getting awareness. Now the clinical research database, we're approaching, like, what I've got here is like close to 9,000 studies. Right. So
there are many devices on the market. Many of them are these large LED beds. They are boards. They're 2 feet wide, 4 feet tall, whatever, something you can stand in front of or lie upon. But they run into thousands of dollars, and they're not portable. This is a wearable. This is a wearable gadget, which has me really impressed or engaged here, because I think this will get used more than anything.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, and if we don't, we did something wrong, and we got to go back to the drawing board. Because the whole goal is, are you going to use this same time next year? Like, are you going to use it? And that even goes down to the texture of the liquid silicone. There's there's a very large, very big, noisy machine that produces this mold, this liquid silicone mold, and then the glazing we do on it, to where it's not sticky, it's soft to the touch. And just the feedback, the data we got back from ladies saying, "Oh, I like the way it feels." We're like, "Okay, that's good. What did you think?" Just like it's so important with anything. Like, if you really want to change, and change and create an impact, is you got to be thinking about those little tiny things. Like, how big is an average, woman's bag? Is it going to fit? A gym bag, that's okay. We got the man's, his bag for work, but a woman's bag, is it going to fit? And is she going to feel comfortable bringing this out in her friends? Does it look like something? Does it give her some sort of credibility or prowess? Or does it look like, oh, I don't want to show anybody this, like, we don't want, obviously battery powered is a must. Like, plugging something in doesn't make anyone feel good. Like, you want to have people are like, "Oh yeah, this is like, oh my God, you have a Lumaflex? That's amazing." I always wanted one of those. Like, you have to think about that if you're gonna do something. If you really want to create consistency, you have to think. Is the finishing and how it is? It can't be bulky. The design, the brand, everything has to be like, I want to show this. I want to use this. I want to take it in my bag. I'm like, "Oh, don't forget my Lumaflex." You have to think about that. I'm glad you understand, because it's something that, when you're talking to the design team, no, push it through, push next phase. Let's go to the next phase.
I've got to be right. All right. Awesome. Well, okay, John. So this is John Graham Harper with Lumaflex. We will be putting a link on next to this podcast so that you can buy it with our endorsement and from our link. Thank you very much. We get a small commission on it. So that's how it works. Thank you for shopping with us. John, thank you very much for explaining the product. I'm really excited and feel honored to be able to offer something that's really well designed and functionally complete. This is really good.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate being on the platform. You've obviously built an audience. They trust you. And you've been able and allowing me access to that audience is very. I really appreciate it. So yeah, grab the link. It's going to be in the bio. And Martin, Martin is my younger brother's name. I really miss him. I haven't seen him in a while.
All right. Very good. Okay. So thank you, John. This is Martin Pytela for Life Enthusiast Health Shots, the podcast at life-enthusiast.com. And thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.